Well, being in this position, it's been a living hell. You're not even treated as a human being.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to.
Regardless of what my past experience is, what my past service is, whatever admirable things I've done in my life, it just doesn't matter. People don't see that. People see just a worthless bum. I lived, your average Joe life as a construction worker. I provided a good life for my wife and my son, and I provided a decent, a comfortable life for myself. And when all that is gone, and literally all you're left with is the clothes on your back, it really takes an emotional toll on you. Depths of depression, or they can go really deep. 2 weeks ago was Veterans Day, and I had a feel. There was something in my mind that told me, that said, well, I'm a veteran. I served for 6 years in the Army. Maybe Veterans Day, maybe some people will be kind. Maybe a handful of people will be kind, but just couldn't be further from the case. I had been diagnosed as an epileptic when I was 29. I didn't see that coming. So in my line of work, I work in construction, and in the line of work, it's really difficult. It's like you kind of want to lie to the bosses and say there's nothing wrong with you, but it was my experience that for safety reasons, if you're on a job site and you happen to fall into a seizure, you're at risk of getting hurt, so it's better to let the people around you know, look, I have this medical issue, and if you see me happen to, fall unconscious or fall over or start convulsing, I'm having a seizure, call an ambulance, and when I got into work situations and I'm like, listen, I'm an epileptic, if there's, ever a situation on a job site, it's like, oh, hold on a second. You have epilepsy? No, you know what? You're just a walking liability. I'd rather not have you on my job site. I don't need to lose my business. I don't need my insurance premium to go up, So, finding work, keeping work was hard. Once I landed on the streets, it wasn't immediately after my divorce. It was probably a year and a half, 2 years later. But once I landed on the streets, it's just been a complete nightmare. Regardless of what my background is, what my education is, what my skills are, what my experience is. I mean, my resume looks golden. It looks better than gold. It's fucking platinum, But in the position I'm in, getting work is impossible. I don't have a phone. So it's like, oh hey, can you email me a response to do I got the job or not? And it's not even if someone emails me, it's like I don't get an alert or anything. It's like I just got to go and check my email every day at the library and hope for the best. People are like, who doesn't have a phone these days? What's wrong with this guy? And then on the rare occasion that I do get work, I get on a job site and people I work with or customers, approach the bosses and they're like, what's up with the new guy Joe? I can smell his shoes from down the hall. He's been wearing the same shirt for 5 days in a row straight. What's the fucking deal? And then, they confront me, and instead of lying to them, I just level with them and say, look, I'm on the streets. I need this job. And after a couple paychecks, I won't be on the streets, but I need this job to get a couple paychecks. And then it's like, no. They look at you again as a walking liability. They think, oh, you're a homeless guy, so you're desperate, so you might rob my business, steal all my tools, pawn them off, or whatever, rob payroll money when that comes in, So they just always assume, companies and employers, they just assume the worst, they hear that you're on the streets, they hear that you don't have a place to live, they just assume the worst. So rather than take a chance, you know, and risk, you know, keeping you employed, they just say, you know what, make today your last day, pick up your check on Friday, and good luck to you. You know, and they just chalk it up as a loss, you know. So, yeah, and then, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I don't, you know, when I wasn't in this position, I had the same attitudes. You know, when I saw a homeless person, you know, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh God, you know, like, you know, here's a dreg of the earth. You know, here's a lazy person. You know, but you know, and then it wasn't until that I got in this position myself that, you know, I realized that it's not everyone that just doesn't want to work. It's not everyone that, you know, is just looking for a free ride. You know, it's I don't know. It's a really weird. It's a weird double standard. What I've found out here is, it's like, if you're a person that has, you know, that has had things, that is accustomed to, you know, been accustomed to, you know, a normal lifestyle, you know, work, you know, had a career or whatever, and, you know, was relatively successful enough to support themselves and a family, you know, people just don't really seem that apt to help you if you happen to fall down. But if you're a person that has never had a damn thing, you've lived in poverty your whole life, you've lived a life of crime, you've been in and out of prison, addicted to drugs and alcohol, and you're sitting on a street corner shaking a cup, their heart and their wallets just bleed for them. It's like, it's a total double standard. It's like really, like the guy who's like clearly high as a kite and, like, I know just got out of prison a year ago, you know, and has just never had, you know, whole life has just been a dirtbag, like, you know, robbing and stealing, selling drugs, and stealing cars, gang affiliations, and all this. Like, he's worthy of your assistance more so than a guy that served you and your country, risking his life for 6 years. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I just come to the conclusion that society is just completely ass backwards, and unfortunately, I'm at the receiving end of the brunt of the worst of it, you know. So, you know, it's not been an easy road, to say the least, you know. And people stop and they look and they stare and then they keep going, and they run into a guy who's, you know, fresh out of prison, and they say, "Here's $50, sir," you know. And then it's, "Oh, you're a disabled homeless veteran? Fuck you, get a job," you know. It's like, oh, God bless you. You know, have a nice day.